Hey everyone, our relationship with animals is always changing, and today we're going to prove it. We are looking at 5 huge pet-related stories from all around the world, all from just the last 24 hours. Ready? Let's get into it.
I mean, we're talking about everything from big legal changes and massive rescues, all the way to small acts of kindness and even some wild futuristic tech. It really shows you just how complicated things are, right? Our pets, they're not just pets, they're kind of like a mirror, reflecting our laws, our communities, even what we're aiming for in the future.
All right, so first up, let's talk about Act 1, the weight of responsibility. This is all about the serious side of things, the legal and moral duties that kick in the second you decide to get a pet.
First, let's head over to the UK. The clock is absolutely ticking for owners of XL bully dogs because a new ban is now in full force. The police are basically putting out a final call. If you want to keep your dog legally, you've got to do 4 things, no exceptions. You need a certificate of exception, the dog has to be microchipped, you need third-party liability insurance, and this is a big one, the dog must be neutered. And look, if owners don't do this, they're facing fines, legal trouble, and they could even have their dog taken away. It's a really powerful example of how big public safety rules can change everything for a pet owner.
Now let's jump across the pond to Florida for a different kind of story about responsibility. Look at this number, 100 plus. This isn't just a number, it's a huge win for animal welfare. Over 100 dogs were just saved from one single, massive, illegal puppy mill. Just incredible.
And what's so great about this story is how everyone came together. A big rescue organization jumped right in, giving these dogs all the medical help and behavioral care they needed to bounce back from some really tough conditions. And the best part? Every single one of them is now looking for a new, loving home. It's the start of a whole new life for them.
Okay, that brings us to Act 2, the heart of companionship. So we're shifting gears a bit now, moving away from the heavy legal stuff and focusing more on, well, the heart of it all, the everyday care and the amazing emotional bonds we share with our animals.
Down in Australia, where they're getting ready for a summer Christmas, a vet in Sydney is sounding the alarm. You know those festive plants we all love? Well, turns out a lot of them are super dangerous for our pets. A poinsettia, for example, might just be mildly annoying for them. Mistletoe? That's more toxic. But listen, if you have a cat, this is the one you need to hear. Lilies are extremely fatal to cats. It's just one of those simple reminders that you always have to be on the lookout when you've got pets at home.
And sometimes that care comes from where you least expect it. Check out this story from Toronto, Canada. It's just amazing. A bus driver sees this tiny little kitten all alone, just shivering in the snow. So what do? They stop the bus, they bring the kitten inside to get warm, and then all the passengers get involved, wrapping it up in blankets. I mean, wow. The kitten ended up safe at an animal shelter, but just for a little while, that city bus became a little safe haven from the cold.
All right, for our last act, let's look to the future. Act 3, the future of a friendship. The question is, how is technology changing this ancient relationship we have with animals? Well, we might just find the answer in New Delhi, India.
Get this, a tech startup there is building something that sounds like it's from a sci-fi movie. A pet language translator. Yeah, you heard that right. The whole idea is to use AI to figure out what our pets are actually trying to say. The app analyzes their barks, their meows, their body language, and then it supposedly translates all of that into words we can understand.
So, how on earth does it work? Well, they say it's basically a 3-step process. First, you just use your phone to record your pet. Their sounds, how they're acting. Second, the AI model takes over and crunches all that data, comparing it to this huge database. And then, step 3, it spits out an interpretation. It tells you if your pet is happy or nervous or just plain hungry. It's still in the early stages for sure, but wow, what a peek into the future, right?
So, that's what brings us to the big question at the end of all this. We've seen it all in just 24 hours, from strict laws and huge rescue missions to simple warnings, amazing acts of kindness, and now AI translators. Our connection with our pets is clearly changing fast. But as we create these incredible tools that promise to let us talk to our pets, you have to wonder, right? Is this technology actually going to bring us closer, or could it make us lazy and stop us from learning how to understand them on our own? Definitely something to think about. Thanks so much for tuning in.